CEO and lead dev over here at Mintbean. I create most of the hackathon challenges, including the one that you guys are going to be working on this week. And I, uh, I really enjoy JavaScript development. I do a lot of JavaScript development. I've also done Java and Ruby on Rails. I have almost 10 years of experience in the industry, and I started Mintbean in order to help mentor and coach lots and lots of developers at scale. And given that we have more than 2,000 members in Discord, and we have so many people who are following us on social media, we've been mildly successful at that goal. We've done more than 150 hackathons in the past 12 months. And our 1 year anniversary is actually coming up. Next month on March 14th is going to be our 1 year anniversary. That's when we hosted our first hackathon. And I'm super excited about that. So that's a lot about me. Where is everyone from? Just drop it in Zoom, and I'd like to hear where everybody's from. Anybody from Toronto? I'm from Toronto. What city are you guys from? Oh, Texas. Oh, hey, Chris. Chicago, LA, Vaughan as in Vaughan, Ontario, Delaware, Chicago, New York. Wow, we have people from all over. Amazing. And now tell me, what you guys are hoping to learn. Today's hackathon topic is 3D hacks. We're going to be creating a nice 3D scene. It's really a kind of a Bob Ross moment for me, because I'm not that I'm going to be guiding y'all for the entire hackathon, but it's really one of those artsy fartsy ones where you're learning 3JS and you're learning how to build a 3D scene. I'll get into all of that, but it's really more of a creative experience this time around. Super relaxed. Even if you're not a creative person, you're gonna have fun with the way 3JS works. What's everybody tuning in for? What are you guys here for? What are you guys hoping to learn? Can I get a feel for, are you guys here for keeping your GitHub calendar green? Are you guys here to upskill, to learn new things, to get career coaching? What's everybody here for? I'm here for fun.
I came here to learn new things. Like actually from the App Academy, just came back from their graduation, so I just wanted to see what's going on.
Nice. You said you just graduated?
I not graduating. I graduated like about 2 months ago.
Oh yeah, where did you graduate from?
App Academy.
App Academy, yeah, we love App Academy. Down in San Fran, right?
Yep. But this was the remote version, so Las Vegas here.
Oh, Las Vegas, awesome. And you're here to just get in touch with the industry and learn new things?
Oh, yep.
Super cool. Thanks for sharing. Karina is a civil engineer, a lot of experience building corridor and bridge 3D models. Ooh, Karina, you're gonna enjoy this one. So you're not gonna have AutoCAD. You're gonna do this using JavaScript. So that's gonna be interesting for you. Chris is here to learn new things, create a new project. Yeah, I know. Yikes! It's okay. It's all X, Y, Z and rotation, and it's relatively okay. You just have to do it in code instead of drag and drop. Delilah's used 3JS before. Loves creative freedom of the hackathons. Cool, amazing. Well, welcome everybody. Just wanted to give you guys I'm announcing this for the first time, so this is kind of a proud moment for me. We've started a new career accelerator program. This is a more structured program. If you want to get a new job, don't know where to start, then the program includes 39 hours of live coaching in a classroom setting with a coach-student ratio of 1:6. You'll learn technical stuff. Obviously, it's actually over the course of 4 weeks, you'll go through doing the hackathons and getting coaching on your project while you're doing the hackathons. And I'm going to be doing the coaching for the first little bit myself. So you're going to be getting coaching directly from me. You'll also be learning how to apply to jobs from me. So there's a scientific job search system that I've used, that I developed myself while I was breaking through as a self-taught developer. And this isn't just videos, this is actual live interactive coaching that's delivered by me directly to, and there's a whole pod system, there's a whole structure. If you guys want more info and if you feel like you could use something to get that job faster or to get that promotion faster, depending on what situation you're in, let me know. And this is, I'm just announcing this for the first time. I don't have my pitch down. As you can see, we move fast and break things over here like startups always do. But yeah, if you want to learn from me, then this is one way to get that coaching. So that's the little plug that I have for today. And now let's move into orientation. So today's agenda. I'm doing the orientation right now. I know meta. And the challenge introduction is next, and I'll be walking you guys through the Kanban board. If you guys haven't seen the Kanban board, you can actually log on to mintbean.io, go to the meet, register for it, and click unlock Kanban, and you can get the Kanban board right now. It includes all of the instructions that you guys need. So just a heads up. I'll be walking through that. And then after that, we're gonna try out a new thing today. We're gonna do a 10-minute networking session over in the Discord itself. And that'll happen after the challenge introduction and the walkthrough. So how we help, it's really simple. We help on two sides. One is the career side. And on the career side, it's your portfolio is almost everything when it comes to your career. Of course, your resume is important too, but if you don't have a portfolio, you're probably not going to get a really good job. And how we help is with quantity and visibility. We help you build your portfolio, showcase your projects, and repeat week after week. This way, you're systematically building your portfolio out week after week, and you don't get that gap on your GitHub calendar. You can keep it green. If you do the hackathons every week, it's actually a great way to keep your GitHub calendar green. So that's how we help with your career. And we also help with your skill set because, of course, these are hackathons, they're fun, they're somewhat intense. And so you can learn new concepts, reinforce the most common skills that you have, and you can repeat that week after week as well. And of course, this is all completely free. There are no fees involved for building your portfolio, attending the hackathons, and competing. So this is how we can help. And it takes just a week to build your project out. The way we've structured these hackathons is you start today and the orientation is done. We drop the challenge, and at 4 o'clock, you have code mentor hours. You have code mentor hours 3 times a week, and you're continuously building out your project. And over the course of a week, you can really build a really nice project. If you're working solo, that's a lot of time to just put your creative vision to use down on paper and build something out. If you're in a group, there's a lot of room to discuss and take your time and build the project out. It's self-paced as well. So this week-long structure, it really lets you apply to jobs. It really lets you focus on your life, focus on your family, without having to really stress about making that Friday deadline, making that Thursday deadline, making that Thursday deadline. There's no hardcore intensity over here. We know that work-life balance is a thing. So this week-long structure really lets you build something out in the fullness of time, but also not neglect your life and your other duties that you have as a person. And I'm going a bit too fast, aren't I? Well, it's okay. So I'd recommend, I know that you have a week. I'd recommend that you guys start with a plan. It's super important that you start with a plan. You probably have a really big grand idea. And my recommendation is to take that grand idea and turn it into a light version of the idea. So you're going to see the prompt and the theme. I want you guys to ask yourself, okay, in a week, realistically, what can I do in a week to build the best project that I can, or that my team members can build in a week? Can I build this? Do I have to do the stretch goals? Can we split up the tasks so that we're all leveraging our strengths? Make sure that you talk a lot in your group, or that you plan it out on paper if you're doing it solo before you get started, and come up with a plan, an idea for what you're going to be building. Once you have the idea, start coding on the MVP, understand what the MVP looks like. The MVP is actually defined inside the Kanban board for you. So all of the tickets that say MVP and storytelling, those are required. And that's your core application. That's what you're going to be building. So you don't have to think too hard about what you're going to build immediately at all. This is not like other hackathons where they give you a theme and they ask you to build something out. We're semi-structured, which means we help you get started. We give you snippets of code very often. We point you in the right directions, give you the resources that you need to get started. But then after you're done with the MVP, you have room to start experimenting and playing with it and improving your application after you're done with your MVP. So make sure you finish the MVP out before you move on and you embellish it with more and more features. I would recommend using some kind of wireframing tool. If it's just pen and paper, that's fine. Just draw out what your application is going to look like. Today's hackathon is 3D hacks, and it's a little bit more creative. So maybe you don't need to do wireframing, but maybe if you're in a group, you want to plan out your 3D scene. You'll see what I mean when we do the challenge walkthrough. Now that you have a plan, you just start coding and you iterate. So going back to this slide over here, Friday, we're on Friday today. There's going to be open office hours at 4 p.m. Where you can ask any questions that you might have. Saturday and Sunday, if you guys are coding over the weekend, which I highly recommend, but it's not obviously not required by any means, but I highly recommend you do that. You can go through your first Hello World application by Saturday evening, probably. By Sunday, you're probably going to start putting in your first 3D objects into your project. And then on Monday, we have workshops, and we also have our open office hours on Monday as well. That's a good time to get in touch with your code mentor and talk to them about, okay, well, is this what's going on with my code? Why is this bug appearing? Our code mentors will actually help you walk through your bugs and help you debug your bugs. I said bugs too many times. Okay, but clearly there's a bug in here somewhere in my script. But yeah, just make sure you guys take full advantage of the code mentors. The code mentors that we supply in the hackathons that volunteer and give their time in the hackathons, they are experienced and they know how to build applications. And if you take advantage of their time, your application will be much better for it. So make sure that you talk to David, who's our code mentor for this week. So here's an example. Here are a couple of examples. I only have screenshots, but I'll explain what the applications are. These are previous hackathons. This hackathon was building a full stack game using WebSockets and Express and whatever front end technology you want. And this is a screenshot from that game. This was the winning project. The team built a game where you could enter a room, start a game, and fight with somebody else over a castle. It was called Crush the Castle, I believe. And as you can see over here on the top right, it has a game room ID. So this team built out this application in a week. And it was a full stack game. It was really cool. And it was all built using web technologies. And they learned a lot. I learned a lot by looking at it. It was really cool, a really, really cool app. Here's another example. This was a solo project using Algolia, which is a third-party API. Somebody built a Pokédex, and this was built in 4 hours using Algolia, which is just incredible. Once you start using Algolia, you'll see that it's a really powerful tool. So in this case, we introduced Algolia as an API, and we put together a small tutorial, and this person just really ran with it and created a full Pokédex using Algolia, which was really, really amazing. In 4 hours, it was just crazy. So these are the kinds of projects that come out of these hackathons. And if you feel like you're not there yet, that's okay. I want to just let you guys know that if you feel like this or this is completely out of your reach, that's totally fine. There's a story I really like telling about an attendee at the hackathons. I'm not going to tell his name, but he came in for the first hackathon back, I believe this was back in spring. No, this was like fall last year. And the first hackathon he couldn't submit, and he messaged me and said, Monarch, I'm so sorry, I can't submit. I'm going to drop out of this hackathon. And I told him, look, why don't you do this next week? Just submit a blank page. And even if you can't do the hackathon next week and you can't finish it, submit the blank page. And he submitted a blank page the next hackathon because he couldn't do anything more. And he said, I submitted the blank page, and I said, okay, you submitted a blank page. How do you feel? He said, I feel really good. I feel like I learned a lot just by deploying a project onto the web, and I'm going to come back for the next one. So he came back for 3 more hackathons, and he won the third one after that. So the 5th hackathon he attended, he actually won. And in 2 months after that, he found a job that paid upwards of $60,000 a year. And he was a boot camp grad, like a lot of us over here are. He had no prior experience, but he broke through because he was able to use the hackathons and build on top of his skill set by just coding every single day, every day, just over and over again. Um, and that's why these hackathons exist, is to give you a platform to really exercise your skills. So this winning project over here, if you don't feel like you're there yet, it's totally fine. If you don't want to submit, don't submit. If you want to submit a broken project, submit a broken project, but keep coming back, because that's going to help you build your skill set in a really solid way. And this person as well, we ended up hiring this person, and this person now works at a really, really well-known Canadian e-commerce company. And they were able to break through. We hired them because we really liked this project, and they were able to move on to bigger and better things because of this project, and because of the fact that they got noticed for that stuff. So just keep coming back and keep building on your skill sets. No matter what you do, just keep coding. Part of the thing about building a portfolio is that you need to also explain what your portfolio is all about. And there's a storytelling section inside the Kanban board, which you'll see in the walkthrough. And the purpose of the landing page is to clearly tell a story about your application to a non-technical person. So you want to tell a story to the average recruiter and guide their eye to the right places in your application. This is a 3-part landing page, a simple single-page landing page. That's all you need to build. And it's a great marketing tool to really give legitimacy to and polish to your project. If you, in my experience, if you have a landing page and you have an okay project, that's way better than if you have no landing page and an amazing project, because the landing page tells a story and it just systematically explains everything to a recruiter. And it helps them pick up the phone and call you. So the landing page is really important. Make sure that you build at least a simple 1-pager landing page. There's instructions and guidelines inside the Kanban board. So how to submit. So after you're done with everything, there's going to be a 3-page submission process. Step 1 is you submit to the Mintbean IO platform. Step 2 is you post on LinkedIn and Twitter. And step 3 is you post on Discord, and everybody likes and comments on your post. That way LinkedIn's algorithms they know that it's a popular post, and it starts pushing that algorithm out to your people, to your network, and to people in everybody else's network who liked it as well. So the first step is, of course, you go to the platform and you submit. These are screenshots from the old platform. We redesigned the new platform. By the way, how does everybody like the new platform? Anybody over here coming in from before? Has anybody seen the old platform? Do you guys like the new redesign? Yes, no, maybe, no? Love it? Oh, thanks, Chris. Anybody hate it? Oh, Krishna asked, not sure how the old one was. The old one was clunky. It was definitely a startup MVP.
Oh yeah, okay. This is definitely better.
Oh, thank you. The old one was, we built it Mintbean 2.0. No, it's more like Mintbean 4.2, because we've just been iterating on it over and over and over again. Great, thanks for the feedback, guys. Okay, that's good. If anybody hates anything, let me know and we can fix it. We have continuous deployment on now, so we can fix things in hours rather than days. Second thing, submissions. So LinkedIn and Twitter, this is the second part of submitting your project. After you post on the platform, you should then create a little blurb about the challenge that's going to help you attract a recruiter's eye, or at the very least, Help your friends and your family know that, okay, well, you're really serious about getting into software development. The recruiters would love it because they're gonna be impressed by seeing that you're talking about a project that you built. You have links to the project. There's a whole framework over here. I'm not going to go through each and every post requirement, but there's a whole framework over here. Make sure you tag Mintbean and make sure you include your project link, use relevant hashtags. You can find if Yaz, if you could just post the link to our hackathon guide, you guys can actually find all of this info and more on the hackathon guide. And that's where you can see how to do the whole LinkedIn game as well. If you guys don't have the bandwidth to do LinkedIn, do Twitter. And if you do it on, if you use, here's how I look at it. Use LinkedIn to attract the attention of recruiters. Use Twitter to show off to your family and friends and impress them. Okay, so LinkedIn is definitely a professional space, and you want to use LinkedIn to get attention, to get hired. And it's super, super important that you're active on LinkedIn. If you're not active on LinkedIn, get active on LinkedIn immediately. It is extremely important that you're on LinkedIn. Every single recruiter is on there. So definitely stay on LinkedIn. And on Twitter, if you want to show off your project, just really quick, be cool about it. Just drop a short message, a link, and talk about how you built it. And all of your dev friends and your non-dev friends will take a look at it. It's a great way to build a network with other developers. Developers are actually not super active on LinkedIn. They're more active on Twitter. And if you want to make friends with developers and network with developers, Twitter is an amazing place to do that. So make sure that you're reaching out on both places. It's a great way to build your network. I've met CEOs and CTOs of large, well-known companies that have sold for millions or billions of dollars through LinkedIn and Twitter. And it's a very powerful tool to just grow your network and become known. So after you've done the LinkedIn and Twitter submission, make sure you post it on Discord so that we can upvote. So Kelsey posted her LinkedIn and her Twitter posts. Drop your posts inside Discord, and everybody just make sure if somebody drops it, be supportive of other people in Mintbean, and make sure that you upvote and you like and you comment. Even if it's just a simple like, it goes a long way towards making that person feel like they've achieved something, and it's validation immediately. And it's just part of being a supportive community. I'm sure you would like it too if other people liked on your tweets and posts. So make sure you do it for others, and the karma will come right back to you. I promise you. So here's, speaking of karma, so here's David. David Dales is our code mentor for the week. Thank you, David. You've been awesome, and you're such a big part of the community. Everybody loves you. David is in the Code Mentor channel on Discord. That's where he hangs out. And he's an entrepreneur. He's working on his startup. He's a front-end developer, and he's a bootcamp grad. He's a Juno grad, Juno College from Toronto. They used to be called Hacker U. They rebranded to Juno a few years back, and a Mintbean member. So David, thank you so much. I have a blurb over here for David. Technology has been a highly influential part of David's life. Fascinated with how digital technology works, he often turned to computers as a way to improve real-life experiences and as a creative outlet. And as a front-end developer, David takes pride in creating projects that empower and inspire others in the same way that they have empowered and inspired him. Thank you, David, for being a code mentor this week. A lot of people ask this question: what tech can I use? So anything web related is fine. For today's project especially, do not use Unity. We will not be accepting Unity or AutoCAD submissions. You do have to publish your source code as part of the submissions. So make sure that you're using Three.js, which is the technology that we'll be using this week. Another common question is, can I use another library other than Three.js? The answer is yes, you can. You can, but it might limit how much support you get from the community because everybody else is going to be using Three.js. So it's up to you. If you want to trailblaze and go on the path less traveled by, then go for it. But there's a downside. So just a heads up. But yeah, no Unity this week, no AutoCAD, no Unreal Engine, none of that. You should be using Three.js or something similar. So P5.js is fine, for example. And what support do you get? So you have Code Mentor help, you have the current event channel, which is where everybody for the current event hangs out. And if you want to become a part of a team, or if you're looking for one more addition to your team, then post in the Find a Team channel inside the Discord. Um, Code Mentor office hours, there's that voice channel at the bottom over there. That happens on Fridays, Mondays, and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you tune in for that. The schedule is posted um, on the challenge listing, on the meetup listing. So if I drop some times that were not accurate and they confused you, you can refer to the meet, and you can see the schedule on the meet, and that should help you know exactly what happens when. There's a lot going on, so that'll probably help you with what happens when. Great. So now we're at the challenge walkthrough, followed by the networking, but the challenge walkthrough comes first. So if you go to mintbean.io, you can log in on the top right and then click on Meets. And then inside Meets, you'll see JS Hacks. That's the red and blue 3D movie goggles. Click on JS Hacks. And now that you're over here, you can go to Kanban. And if it says unlock Kanban, you just click on unlock Kanban and it'll open up for you. And this is the Kanban for the day. There's a lot of tickets, but it's actually a very simple, straightforward project. There's a lot of info and support that we provided on this Kanban for you, which is why we've kind of broken it up so that a team of 3 could really get into it and start working with it. The info tickets are optional, of course. The optional tickets are also optional, of course. If you go down to MVP, that's where the real meat of the project begins. So what are we going to be doing? So today's challenge, well, not this one. Where are we? So today's challenge, if I go to the detail, we're going to be using powerful libraries to create a 3D scene in today's hackathon. So what is a 3D scene? A 3D scene is a beach where you can relax, or a mountaintop where you can see a beautiful view. And you're going to be creating maybe an urban view where you're on a street corner in a city. You're going to be creating a view like that in today's hackathon. And in order to do that, in order to create that view, first thing you should do is install Three.js. There's a little code snippet on the Kanban board that'll be very helpful for you to get started. And if you click on the little link over here, that'll take you to Three.js's website, where the documentation is on the left. And I took the code snippet right from here. So if you go to getting started, you'll be able to understand how to get started if you walk through this. And if you have any questions, drop them in Discord. There's usually some confusion around how to get started, because some people are using a CDN and using just plain HTML. Other people are using a bundler like Webpack. Yet other people are using Create React app. So if you're confused about getting started, make sure you drop those questions early so that we can help you out. But the documentation is actually very, very good. And after you're done reading the documentation, which I recommend, you can move on with the project. So MVP, install Three.js, go through the documentation. Then what I want you guys to do is find a photograph that you guys can replicate. So we're going to be building a 3D scene. So look for a scene that you'd like to reproduce in 3D during the hackathon. What do I mean by that? Well, look for a simple photograph that depicts a natural landscape. So here's an example of a landscape photograph, a bunch of trees in a forest shrouded in mist. If this is something that attracts you and you want to experiment with building this in 3D using Three.js, then this is a great photo to get started with. Let's do famous landscape. And let's see if there's something. Well, there's Van Gogh for sure, but that's probably going to be really hard to reproduce. So I wouldn't go with something abstract. Don't go for something abstract. Not a good idea. But if you wanted to go for something like this, where you're taking a painting that's a straightforward landscape painting of a lighthouse and a house on top of a hill, that's a great scene that you can reproduce in 3D as well. Here's another one, a mountain. You might find it hard to find mountain assets, but that's another example of something that you can reproduce. You can also do, let's say, an urban landscape. So if I wanted to reproduce something, let's find something simple. So if I wanted to reproduce something like this, just a random street somewhere in the city, then this is something that you can relatively easily reproduce. And you're probably bursting with questions like, well, am I supposed to create the 3D models myself? The answer is no, you don't have to create your 3D models yourself. Because what you can then do is, after you find a photo to replicate, you can use Three.js to import 3D models, and you can find those 3D models on Sketchfab. There are also other places, but Sketchfab is a great place to find 3D models. For example, here's a model of a truck. And they're probably using something like Three.js right here in the browser. This is definitely WebGL. And here's a truck that you can download and import absolutely for free. It's been viewed 1,300 times, and it's been downloaded 200 times. You can click download 3D model. You'll have to log in, but then you can go back to the instructions, click on the documentation that was right here that says import 3D models. And it'll take you to the documentation where you can actually learn how to import a 3D model like that truck into Three.js. And there's all sorts of documentation over here. It's a hackathon, so there's only so much help that we can give you. It's not a tutorial. But because we've pointed you in the right direction, you now know where to find the resources that you need. And now you can start learning from the documentation and stitching together all of those resources so that you can build that 3D scene. So don't be afraid of doing research and falling into it. It's a completely expected aspect of software development. People do it all the time. In fact, you have to. So find 3D models to use. And then now that you found those 3D models, you want to combine them to make a scene. So you're going to want to place them at the exact XYZ coordinate and start piecing them together so that they look nice together, and maybe it looks like that photograph that you picked out for yourself. And this is actually a really nice way to get started with the project, is just take a scene and then start reproducing it. That's that kind of copycat stuff is done in art classes everywhere, and we're kind of using the same model for this hackathon, which is take a scene, find a flower. So over here, there's a dude on a skateboard. So I'm going to go to Sketchfab and I'm going to see skateboard. And there's a skateboard there. And there's a person, there's a skateboarding cat. And if I like the skateboarding cat, which I think I do, there we go. Okay, there's a skateboarding cat with a little animation. That's a great thing to start with. So I would then download this one if it was available, and then I would just go back to the scene, look at where the person is, and position the cat on the skateboard right there. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can polish up the aesthetics as you go. But this is how you get started. The goal is to create something that the goal is to, the code that you're building is in your brain. The goal is to build up your technical skill set. And the second goal is to impress a recruiter. And I guarantee you, if you build a 3D scene, it's going to be impressive to recruiters, because there's a lot of complex stuff that needs to happen in order to build a 3D scene. So that's the 3D scene. And as part of the MVP, I also want you guys to add some sound. Doesn't have to be anything complex. It could be nature sounds. It could even be a soundtrack, to be honest. I should probably edit that and add that. It can also be a soundtrack, a music soundtrack. So let me add that. And yeah, it can also be a simple music soundtrack. So nothing too complicated, nothing too, unless you want to make it complicated, which is fine. and you can add animations as well. So that's the stretch goal, is to add animation and interaction. So let's say you're done with your MVP, then you can move on to the stretch goal. And the stretch goal is, can you make the user walk through your scene? Can you help them? Can you let them interact with objects in your scene? Maybe even build a full video game. That's another way to do this, is maybe you can build your 3JS application in a way that is fully interactive. That's another great way to stretch this application. But I wouldn't do this until the very end, or unless I had a full team of 3 and I wanted to, I wanted one person to handle some interactivity. Don't go and add animation and interactions if this is very new to you, or if you're not super confident, or if you don't have the manpower to do it. I wouldn't do it if I was feeling a little iffy about it until the very end. So this is something that maybe you can tackle on Wednesday or Thursday of next week, or well, Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And there's the storytelling sections. So these are required. In fact, I'm going to move this to the bottom. You should see that updated. Then there are the storytelling sections. So storytelling, you're above the fold. Storytelling is when you build a marketing page, you want to make sure that you're explaining your application in a way that somebody will understand. And this might seem super trivial from a technical perspective. Hey, I'm a developer, and why is this even useful? This is all designy stuff. No, don't think that way. Because if you build a basic landing page that's nice, it will help explain your application to somebody that I've already gone through this before. I think you guys get the point. It's really important, especially if you're looking for attention from recruiters. So there's the above the fold section, which is what shows up right when you splash on the application. There's the explainer section that comes after the above the fold, and there's info on there for you. Then there's the narrative section, which is how this application was built, what technologies you use. And if you put in a shout out to Mintbean, that helps us grow the community through backlinks. So that's also a really great way to support. Just a tiny little shout out and link to Mintbean's homepage would help us a lot as well. And that's pretty much the storytelling page. Don't forget to join next week's hackathon. So next week, we're going to be doing typing karaoke. So that's a typing game. And you're going to learn how to handle keyboard input events, and you're going to learn how to use that to create a typing game. There's a lot of event handling there. There's a lot of interaction over there. And it's going to be fun because it's going to be a game-based hackathon. And it's all going to be in JavaScript, just like this one. Great. That's all I got. Networking begins now. If you have any questions, please drop them on Discord, and I'll be happy to help to answer that. If you drop them in the current events channel, that'd be awesome. Now on Discord, there is a certain section. Let me pull this over. So on Discord, if you'd like to take part in the networking round, then you're going to see the video lounges on the left-hand side of the Discord. And they're open to all, and you're welcome to use them at any time. You don't have to book yourself in or anything like that. So if you ever want to just hop on and talk to people in the community, you can just hop on. And if you have a conversation that you want to have with somebody, you can have that over there. There are 3 video lounges. I'd like everybody to who's interested in meeting other people to just join the video lounges and start meeting each other and just start talking. As an icebreaker question: tell us about the most frustrating bug that you've come across in recent times. And let's start with that. So if you want to join either Palo Alto, Menlo Park, or Mountain View, you can click there, and your voice will be automatically connected, and you can even turn on your camera and share your screen. And yeah, that's me talking on in Palo Alto. So that networking section will go on for the next 10 minutes or so, and you guys can get started hacking if you'd like as well. Thank you everybody for being a part of today's orientation and for being part of the hackathons. Really, really super happy that you guys are here. And oh, Krishna is already in the video lounge. So
I just want to see how it's like. We're
yeah,
getting.
yeah. Like let me hop on. I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay. Yep. There we go. So there's two of us over here. You probably have massive echo.
Oh yeah, I think I'll have one video on or something.
No. Anywho. So networking begins. It's super unstructured. Tell us about the most frustrating bug you've had recently. That's it. So y'all can get out of here. I'm going to end the call now and have fun hacking. Cheers.